starts right now.
And we start with this. The clock is ticking. You see it right there. We're now just a little over a day away from a government shutdown.
Millions of federal workers, including those who are essential employees and will have to stay on the job, are at risk of not getting paid until Congress comes up with a solution. As that deadline for a government funding agreement rapidly approaches, the possibility of a shutdown casts a shadow of uncertainty over these vital components of our border security.
Now, Jonathan Cotto has more on how the Department of Homeland Security could see operations affected by a shutdown. And another thing that could also be affected is travel.
The Department of Homeland Security is the third largest department of the federal government. It employs hundreds of thousands of people. DHS says a government shutdown would put a strain on their personnel's ability to make ends meet and put food on the table. In the event of a government shutdown, 72% of the DHS workforce would have to work without pay. That's about 185,000 people. People who are responsible for things like safeguarding our border, seizing illegal narcotics like fentanyl, and even identifying and arresting human traffickers. The U.S. Border Patrol would see over 19,000 unpaid agents and 25,000 unpaid Office of Field Operations officers. And according to DHS's fact sheet, border communities could see funding stopped for costs associated with sheltering migrants. Border communities like Eagle Pass, who has seen thousands of migrants cross into the U.S. Now, in terms of travel, a shutdown could have an impact on hiring and onboarding. While TSA would be required to work without pay, a shutdown could create challenges for onboarding and filling critical roles, especially as we near the holiday season. Now, if you're traveling during the shutdown, you could expect to see longer lines and possibly delays. Reporting Jonathan Cotto, KSAT 12 News.
Now, food delivered to homebound seniors, that's another program that could be impacted by a government shutdown. Meals on Wheels San Antonio says it's going to continue serving the 4,000 seniors who rely on them in this area. But the cash flow, that's going to be tight. Federal government covers a large chunk of that program, which covers buying food, also providing food trays and the gas that's used to help deliver the food. So as Congress continues to build a budget, Forest Maine with Meals on Wheels San Antonio hopes that seniors don't wind up on the chopping block.
If they decide to cut funding on the Older Americans Act, then that could affect our ability to serve people. We hope it doesn't.
So the Older American Act also affects senior centers. Maine says that some services are still going to be okay because of donations.
And over on Capitol Hill, the two chambers of Congress are at an impasse as many government services remain in limbo. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy trying to persuade the holdouts by pointing out border security. Some House GOP members losing patience with their colleagues with demands for more spending cuts.
People's lives, people's economic livelihood is at stake. The stock market, 401ks. It's totally unacceptable to be playing politics.
And while the Senate has a bipartisan plan to extend funding through November 17th, it's unlikely it'll make headway in the House.
Two former San Antonio police officers are on trial for allegedly repeatedly punching a man inside his home while trying to arrest him after an attempted traffic stop back in January of 2020. Carlos Castro and Thomas Villarreal each face a charge of aggravated assault by a public servant. Police say that Eric Wilson had been speeding and failed to signal a turn, and when police confronted him in his driveway, he walked inside his home. Now, Wilson himself took the stand today.
I don't know what they wanted to do. It was baffling to me. I was kind of shocked that they was there. I didn't understand why they was there.
Did anyone tell you you were under arrest?
No.
Did anyone tell you you were being detained?
No.
Did anyone tell you had a traffic violation or anything?
No.
Now, Castro and Villarreal's attorney says the two officers both punched Wilson after making it inside the home, but it was only because he wasn't showing his hands, which is a safety concern. That's their defense. Now, both officers were also fired over that incident, but they are appealing that decision.
And the Texas Supreme Court has sided with former top deputies of Attorney General Ken Paxton to move forward. The state's highest court rejected Paxton's request to dismiss the lawsuit. The case was on pause pending a possible settlement with the whistleblowers. 4 people are suing the AG's office for wrongful termination and retaliation after reporting Paxton to the FBI. This comes just 2 weeks after Paxton was acquitted in his impeachment trial. The lawsuit now goes to court in Travis County.
Now over to McAllen. Police arrested a couple for allegedly selling a Margay cub and then trying to sell a Jaguar cub as well. The couple doesn't have a license to buy, sell, trade, or even transport exotic animals. Federal authorities say they are the first to be charged under the Big Cat Act, which was enacted in December. That bans people from importing, transporting, selling, and possessing prohibited wildlife species. Authorities say the couple sold the Margay for $7,500 to an undercover agent. Now, if they're convicted, they could get up to 5 years in federal prison and have to pay a $20,000 fine.
Giving back to the community and helping people get on the right track. It's Last Chance Ministries' mission and has been since 2005 when Pastor Jimmy Robles changed his life from drug dealer to a man of faith. Now his son is following in those footsteps in hopes of expanding their reach.
I'm really proud of him. You know, I always tell him, like, we don't forget where we came from. We just don't stay there.
Giving back to the community and being a helping hand to those in need. It's what's important to Pastor Jimmy Robles of Last Chance Ministries, the priority he's passed down to his son. And now at the family affair, Pastor Jimmy Robles III is set to open the second Last Chance Ministries church on the Northwest Side.
To be a part of every step of the way, from when I was 3-year-old, not knowing what was happening, to now being 21 and leading the next era for Last Chance Ministries is really, it's encouraging and it's mind-blowing to me that I really can't quite comprehend it sometimes.
Last Chance Ministries has become a staple on the West Side, from their annual back-to-school bash to holding vigils for those in mourning and preaching the Word of God to their parishioners. But it's assistance that had an unusual beginning.
Started selling marijuana and then started selling cocaine, and then I did that for 15 years. It was a double life that I lived.
And it was actually a church retreat that Robles planned on selling drugs at that changed his life.
Thought I'd be smart and put a quarter ounce of cocaine in my sock, my luggage, and went to the retreat. I saw a little skit, little drama at the church that I went to, and I went back to my room, flushed the cocaine down the toilet, and never looked back.
At 21 years old, his son, a Bexar County Sheriff's deputy, and now an ordained pastor, ready to serve his community in a new way.
We want to make sure that Last Chance Ministries is truthfully a place for you to call home.
Last Chance Ministries' new location is at 11605 Texas 151 inside the Courtyard Marriott SeaWorld Westover Hills location. Their first Mass will be this Sunday at 11 a.m.
Now let's look ahead to the weekend now, but you know, here is just a really nice shot. 94 degrees right now. The sky looks nice and blue, although yes, it is hot. And yeah, there are people right now at Hemisphere for that jazz party that's going on.
Yeah, and at least we're falling through the 90s right now and then down into the 80s in a few hours. So if you're outdoors, not all that terrible compared to what we've been through over this summer and the past several weeks. 95 our high temperature today, officially in San Antonio. The significance of that, obviously well above average being 87. However, it has been 114 days since we've had a high temperature below 90 degrees. 114 days. That's almost a third of the year, right? Unbelievable. However, we are expecting highs to dip below 90 in the extended forecast. We're going to talk about that cold front, its timing, rain chances, and temperature changes in a bit.
All right, Adam, thank you. Now we're going to take another live look outside to tell you about traffic. That is I-10 at Presa. Nothing really to write about home here. I mean, it looks pretty nice and smooth. Time now 6:07 and again 94 degrees.
Nice Friday commute home. All right, a 5K honoring Lexi Rubio, who died at Robb Elementary, will continue for the second year in a row. The second annual Lexi's Legacy Run will take place on her birthday in October. A virtual run will go on starting Friday, October 20th through the 22nd. A community run in Uvalde will also be happening at 9 a.m. on October 21st. More details on that will be released later. The money raised goes towards Lives Robbed, a nonprofit started by families of 4 Uvalde victims, including the Rubios.
USA employees got the chance to see what it would be like to be in the military. This morning, about 500 workers volunteered for the Day of Mock Military Service. The annual event, called Zero Day PT, has them walk a mile and also finish other challenges that really work them out.
So at USA, we're very focused on our members, and we want our employees to understand what it's like to serve so they can serve them better.
So after their day of military training was finished, each volunteer was given dog tags for finishing. Everyone who took part also raised money to prevent suicide among veterans.
All right, one local bookstore is doing its part to celebrate Mexican-American culture year-round. The Guadalupe Latino Bookstore and Gift Shop is located at the corner of Guadalupe and Brazos Street. The store opened 2 years ago, and since its opening, the main goal of the store has been to showcase Latino authors. The bookstore has become a special place for artists and authors. Every month, there's a book reading and signings.
Our audiences know that anytime that they're interested in learning more about their culture, learning about a new author, learning about a new book, they can come here and learn about it.
Now, this is just one of several organizations that make up the Cultural Arts District, so that means there's a lot of other opportunities to learn more about San Antonio's Mexican-American culture and community.
Yeah, you can see art there, too. It looks really nice. We want you to stick around. Still ahead on the news at 6. We want you to keep this in mind. The annual Light the Night event, which celebrates people affected by blood cancer, that's still a couple of weeks away. And a local children's hospital is doing something special for those who are in treatment who aren't going to be able to make it. That's coming up right after the break. So here's what we're working on for you tonight on the Night Beat. A portion of the approved city budget is going to be for improving police cars, specifically for bulletproof glass. We're going to speak with a glass coating company about what that could look like and also what it would cost. Also, the possibility of a crisis nursery might be coming to San Antonio. This is basically a place where parents can take their kids when they're feeling overwhelmed. We're going to learn about the early stages of consideration, and we're going to tell you more about how that would work out.
All right, guys, we are just 2 weeks away from the annual Light the Night event at Hemisphere Park. It's a great event. If you haven't gone, you should check it out. The Leukemia and Lymphoma Society puts this on every year to celebrate, honor, and remember those affected by blood cancers.
Here's the thing, though. Not everybody who's affected can actually make it to the walk because they might still be in treatment. And that's why Christus Children's hosted its own Light the Night this afternoon. Lee Waldman was there as patients rang the bell to mark the end of their treatment.
It's a day of celebration.
Happy end of treatment to you.
For the families of Elizabeth, Clarissa, and Breesy.
To hear that you're finally good is weird, but it's a good thing.
Breesy Mauricio and her family have been driving from Eagle Pass to Christus Children's since the summer of 2020 when she was diagnosed with leukemia.
It was very hard I didn't know what I was going into, what we were going into.
Breesy's family stood with her as she rang the bell, marking the end of her cancer treatments.
I hope that I'm a hope for any other kid that's there fighting, anyone else that is out there fighting, to see that there is a good outcome and that they're able to do this.
This and the walk through the garden is a part of Christus Light the Afternoon celebration with the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. The larger Light the Night walk is happening at Hemisphere Park on October 14th.
It's a very heartwarming experience, especially being in the position that I am here at this hospital, making sure that our kiddos are not missing out and still experiencing everything they can.
The white lanterns are carried by survivors, red for their supporters, and gold carried in memory of those lost to cancer. Matthew Sinclair is a registered nurse at Christus. He's also a childhood cancer survivor. He knows these celebrations help in his patients' cancer journeys.
It's part of that marathon that is survivorship, that we kick cancer's butt, then we're going to keep doing it moving forward.
Breezy says now that she's done with treatment, she's focused on the future, which includes becoming a nurse, helping kids battling cancer just like she had. At Christus Children's, Lee Waldman, KSAT 12 News.
Yeah, I love how she's paying that forward. It's such a nice event, too.
Absolutely. Great time. And then it's a beautiful scene, too, when you're out there.
Yeah.
All the lanterns.
It's really pretty.
Are they going to have good weather? Let's not forecast that far ahead yet. What can we expect for the weekend?
You know, the weekend's going to be more of the same. We're focusing on next week when we have a cold front on the horizon. The first actual noticeable front. We're not talking sweater weather here, okay? Let's not get ahead of ourselves when you hear cold front, but noticeable changes, yes, they're in the works. So isolated rain showers here and there this weekend. Hit or miss, mostly miss. Cold front next week. Right now, the timing is Wednesday night. That is likely to change between now and then, so we'll keep you updated. And noticeable changes in the temperatures by next Thursday. Now, let's take a look at our morning lows, what we're expecting. Low to mid 70s this weekend, each morning all the way through Wednesday of next week. However, it looks like we'll dip down into the 60s, which is average for this time of year, by Thursday and Friday. Friday morning, we could be as cool as 65 degrees by next Friday morning, and even some 50s in the hill country with that front. So basically, this front is going to reset our temperatures to near and even slightly below average. So let's talk about the big picture, the pattern that's going on right now. Beautiful trough in the western U.S., this big dip in the upper level flow. It's going to be the main driving force going forward. This is going to cut itself off for a few days, dig into the desert southwest, then open its flow again as it progresses eastward and drop down into Texas as well. Up and down the midsection of the country, we'll have that trough, and it's going to be enough to help push that cold front through. Now let's talk about rain chances. This weekend, nothing really eventful. Some pop-up isolated showers, especially closer to the Gulf coastline, Saturday and Sunday afternoon. But then into the afternoons, we could see some development elsewhere inland, even closer to San Antonio. Slightly better chance Sunday opposed to Saturday. Saturday, a 20% chance. On Sunday, we give it a 30% chance, slightly better odds of a few of those showers. But let's fast forward into next week and focus in on that cold front time. Wednesday, 40%, some scattered activity developing Wednesday night along that front as it pushes in. Should help generate some lift in a fairly slow moving front, which is good. We want it to be slow moving because that prolongs our opportunity for rain. And we've given it a 60% chance as of now. So scattered to widespread showers and thunderstorms possible. As for anything severe, it's too early to tell right now. And then some of that could linger into Thursday morning. Of course, we'll be fine-tuning this forecast, so check back in for updates with those rain chances, timing, and then as we get closer, even accumulations. Also, the temperatures, we'll be tweaking that forecast as well. Speaking of temperatures, 93 right now, dew point is 61. Not bad. Dew points dropped off in the afternoon as they typically do. 90s across just about the entire state. Beautiful Alpine at 89, 95 Laredo, Amarillo, Lubbock at 91, but Omaha, Nebraska 93, Wichita, Kansas 92. So similar temperatures up the plains. Locally, no big changes. Converse 96, 92 Rio, Medina, and Canyon Lake 91. As we go through the evening, temperatures falling down through the 80s, 8 o'clock, 88 degrees, 10 o'clock as some of those football games are wrapped up, 84 degrees, east wind at 5 to 15, a clear sky. Just a quiet day today. Then tomorrow we start at 74. By noon we're at 88, 93 the high temperature. Looking and feeling a lot like today. Some upper 80s in the hill country tomorrow, 89 Kerrville, even Ingram area, 93 Lackland, Converse 92, Stone Oak 92, and Elmendorf 93 tomorrow afternoon. What about high temperatures, though? We'll be in the low 90s through early next week. Then that front hits, and we're talking mid-80s. So right near average for this time of year. Remember, it has been 114 days since we've been below 90 for a high temperature. We'll be finally breaking that streak next week.
Next week. Looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, guys, it's Friday, if you couldn't tell by the amount of times that Kasky shimmied on this show. But that also means that's high school football time, and we got some big-time matchups this week.
We're already on to week 6. I know I say that every week, but I just can't believe how quickly, the season is going. And with that, our road trip brings us to a very excited Pearsall football team as they prepare for a matchup against Stockdale, plus the latest surrounding former Spurs guard Josh Primo and his suspension from the NBA.
We usually eat at Garcia's or Jalisco's and stuff like that, like Mexican restaurants, and we just laugh, have a good time, and that's really it. Yes, man. Just laugh, have a great time. Be friends. You know what I mean? It's all a friend group, a family.
There you have it. That's why Pearsall is an impressive 4-1 to start the year, bonding over Mexican food. It's time for Big Board Sports. This evening at 7, the Pearsall football team hosts Stockdale for one last hurrah before its District 14 4A D2 schedule begins next week. Let's check in with the Mavericks at Mac Laxon Field as they prepare for the Brahmas while trying to improve to 5-0.
Definitely disappointed that it's 4-1. I felt like we got robbed of one, definitely. But
At the end of the day, it was a battle, and I feel like as a team, that's very good for us, is to be battle tested at the end of the day. And I'd rather have that than, have a blowout win.
Pearsall's 1-point loss to Cole during week 2 of the high school football season left the Mavericks with a bitter feeling. But as the saying goes, you learn more from your losses than your wins.
We're battle tested, and we know how to get in close games, and we know how to do in close games, and we know how to perform in close games.
The Mavericks are in for one more tough matchup before their District 14 4A D2 schedule begins. The last time Stockdale and Pearsall faced off, the Brahmas shut out the Mavericks to ruin their 5-0 start to the season.
Last year was definitely our best year in a while, and I felt like taking that loss. I know I cried that night, Two probably cried that night, but it was definitely a learning lesson for all of us. And after that, I felt like we were just locked in defensively, offensively. We couldn't come out as weak as we did at that first 2 quarters that game. And I don't feel like we ever have since then. We've given it all from first quarter to fourth quarter.
This is the caliber of opponent we're going to see in the first round. It's going to be physical, as big as us, stronger than us, faster than us. It's somebody that will get us ready for those opponents when we get into playoffs, which that's our expectation to be in the playoffs, because that's our standard to get in the playoffs.
That will be an intriguing game. Pearsall looking to improve to 5-1 as they host Stockdale. The rest of our road trip route will be at Charlotte when DeHennis visits, and then Jordanton, a neutral site where Robstown and Bandera square off. The NBA announced today that former Spurs guard Josh Primo has been suspended 4 games without pay for conduct detrimental to the NBA. After investigation, the league found Primo engaged in inappropriate behavior by exposing himself to multiple women. Primo insists his conduct was unintentional. Nonetheless, the NBA believes his behavior does not conform to league standards and warrants discipline. Primo has not played in the league since the Spurs terminated his contract last October. Now, Woj reports Primo plans to sign a 2-way contract with the LA Clippers, and that the 12th overall pick in 2021 is engaged in ongoing therapy, which will continue in LA.
Definitely an interesting story. We were talking about it during the break. Obviously, highly sought after, lots of talent.
Yes.
12th pick in the first round, so we'll see how that plays out.
Yes.
Thanks for that, Mary.
Thank you.
And next up, we're going to talk about all the fun things that are happening around San Antonio this weekend and for the next week. We want you to stick around for that. Stephanie Guerra is with us after the break.